Sergeant DeLeon, retired 2014 medically, Army, Arizona. I love my home Arizona. It's fantastic. Um, it's I grew up Arizona, and I like the desert, and it's not too far from the ocean. So California is a mess. I I had, since I can remember, never had the desire to want to go live in California. San Francisco just scares the bejesus out of me, right? It's just too much crap going on. That's what it is. I ain't afraid of nobody, but the crap that goes on politically is just, it's overwhelming, should I say. So I'm here. I'm doing one of my videos. I am a veteran, Arizona Army, and have one tour Iraq. I sustained some injuries, two being head injuries that seem to be insignificant. All right. I'm having some problems with it now. It didn't take long for it to manifest. Actually, as soon as I got back, I started working with Border Patrol through Homeland Security through the Army, and taking care of our border. And so I know a little bit about something, right? Um, I my meds. I've been advocating for myself as a veteran uh, for about a solid 8 years now. Okay. Um, oh, and I say 8 years. It's been a total of 10 years that I've been dealing with medical issues that the VA has neglected to uh, to address and take care of. Um, I have to bring up some of the symptoms that they deal with, and it's nowhere near the treatment I'm supposed to be getting for the injury, which is a TBI. Uh, through in my Iraq tour that I had, 2009, 2010 was my tour. I worked for the Homeland Security shortly right after that, 2010-ish to 2012, I believe. And that was an interesting job, I tell you, of working with Homeland Security, with Border Patrol on the border, stopping everyone from coming into our country, my home. So, advocating for myself, it's been, if you do the math, it's been about 10 years, but 8 years, given the margin of error that it's taken, some time to figure out, hey, no one knew what was going on with me. It was a little strange, a little unusual. So I give, the medical VA professionals and our rules and regulations that they are abided to, and govern them, the margin of error. Okay, so, but I'm way past that now. So advocating for myself as a veteran has been a very, very difficult situation for me. Um, I have, and God bless everything that I have fought for today, that I have. Um, I struggled very, very much with my family. My family and I have struggled. And when I say struggle, I mean struggle. No money, um, no sight of future uh, um, problem solving with the VA and my medical conditions. No, way to get the kind of job that I would be certified to handle with my experience through the Army, my tours, um, and just work. Period. I was having 2010 when I got back. So 2010 when I got back home, I got became stateside. I had two head injuries I sustained overseas. They seem like minor injuries. So if anybody can relate to what I'm saying to you, my brothers and sisters out there, or just people who had car accidents, you can kind of relate to what I'm trying to get at. So, sustaining two head injuries overseas, including a back injury, which was somewhat severe, and some other minor injuries throughout my entire tour there. My back injury had it overshadowed anything else that I was having complications with. So, I couldn't focus on my medical issues while I was on mission. So it was difficult for me to take my mind off, mission first operation, and that's not an easy thing to do because your head needs to be in the game 24/7, and a lot, some of you all know that what I'm talking about, police officers, fire people, military, even some professional medical, high end medical trauma people, they go through this sort of situation. And so I had a back injury that overshadowed any complications that you self evaluate while you go day by day, right? And I was having some complications with some weakness in my legs, some parts of my body. I just can't remember at that time. But my back injury was somewhat severe. It started to get really bad. It seemed like a sciatic nerve type injury. So I didn't bother with it. I knew a lot about sciatic nerve issues before getting into the military, joining the military, and I was one of those tough son of a bitches, right? I was one tough son of a bitch. When growing up, we took care of our own injuries at home. We didn't have medical care. I grew up in the projects, and we didn't everything we can get away with without having to spend money, time, and try to find resources to take care of ourselves. We didn't do it, right? Growing up, we a lot of sitcoms these days talk about that. Put some Windex on it, right? Those are real issues. Those are real scenarios that I have gone through, and it didn't. Nothing abnormal occurred to me that was not something normal that people would go through that had the means and resources to get medical conditions taken care of, whether it was a scratch on your elbow or something. That that's how you take care of stuff. So, but growing up as a tough kid, remained a tough kid until my adulthood, and I was one tough son of a bitch. And I played that way because that was what I knew how to do. And so getting injured in Iraq, sustaining injuries was nothing to me. Didn't It didn't concern me that I was going to have future problems with these injuries. Sure, it's in the back of my mind thinking, it could get worse. But again, thinking as a tough son of a bitch, right? As a tough son of a bitch, kid growing up and brushing it off. I brushed it off in Iraq. And the rules and regulations are there to help us in the military. But when you're able to do mission first accomplishment, that's your job, and that was my job. And I appreciate the the American people for giving me the opportunity to tour and join the military. I joined in my late years. Um, Sustaining injuries, having now to advocate for myself for it's been over 10 years about ish, but 8 years solid. I've definitely have lost confidence in our own government, the government that has helped me get through the military, has helped me in other several ways, has done good stuff for me and my family, mostly bad now. And I have no confidence because I saw firsthand, and I still see, and I saw firsthand that we all can agree the military is a melting pot of people. All right. If you wanna, get talk about immigration, I mean, the military has just about everybody that you can think of and then some. All right. So what's troublesome in that manner is that you get to learn that there's more than just what meets the eye with people. Okay. Their inability and their ability to do certain things. You think that everybody's the same. At least I used to think that, a lot of people do the same shit. They go to school, they graduate, everybody knows how 1 plus 1, knows how to read, knows how to do all the stuff. And that is pretty much the merit in which we earn, right? And then everybody can, when you go to be responsible for being a leader, like somebody in the lead in the military, people expect you to be, straight down the line, Mr. Joe, right? Just simple guy taking care of business. 1 plus 1 is this. You know how to take classes. You know how to adapt to situations. And so I have learned that that is not entirely true. Okay. So it's troublesome because I find myself in a situation now where I'm advocating to get the basic needs for a traumatic brain injury that has haunted my life and my family's life and has not been addressed or taken care of since my returning home and bringing it up and saying and connecting the dots myself sensibly and saying, hey, I think these head injuries I sustained really amounted to something. Okay. And it just has not worked out for me. And I reflect now on all these people that I have met and depended on to back me up, right? To have my six. Well, um, it's disconcerting that um, these same people that I had, engaged with just in my small part of the world in the military. I had figured right away that these folks can't do a damn thing. They can't. They don't know how to organize. They don't know how to be leaders. They don't know how to manage. They don't know how to create options for themselves. 1 plus 1 is 2, right? That doesn't show you how to be a leader. All right. And so when you have a melting pot of people, it's always good to have a lot of people so you can pick and choose, who's the best at what to lead and who has the strengths in this area, who has the strengths in that area. And there are some people who are more well-rounded than others. All right. And that's just the way life is. I don't make the rules. The Lord makes the rules. Okay, so it's true, and we all know it. Okay, yes, You can go to school to be more rounded, to be much more capable of dealing with things. But you know what? It's in a person's nature, okay, that naturally you gravitate to your highest strengths of things. And some people have a shitload of them. You know, they're just more well rounded. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't train a person, okay, to be naturally as well rounded as some people are naturally. Okay, there's just you just can't meet that level. And so the military picks those people out. And a lot of times those people voluntarily do the job because they're the best at it, right? So I'm finding out, and I've been disappointed 8 years solidly. Me knowing that some of these sons of bitches that I've toured with, and God bless their souls, right? Our brothers and sisters, you know, backing me up, I back them up, but damn, they are no good at following through with issues that are critical, like mine. I have a TBI. I've contacted my unit. I've contacted the VA. So it's been some time that I've been around the block a few times, gotten an attorney, still working through some of that attorney stuff. You know, DAV, VFW, Order of Purple Heart, the Army Wounded Warrior Program, the Wounded Program through the Army. I can go on and on and on with all the organizations that I had to fight for to get into. I was never allowed to just be welcomed into any one of these programs. Not one of them, people. Not one that I mentioned. I've had more than a dozen. Not one of them has said, "Hey, you know, you're eligible for this program because you have A, B, and C injury. Come on, let's get you know you can benefit from it." Not one. I had to twist somebody's arm to get into it and make sense to them. Again, I'm talking about the people, the melting pot of people that you depend on to save your ass when you need it the most. Well, you know, that's one deal. The other deal is, you know, they don't see that when everything's all quiet, said and done, and people are going about their lives, that these injuries that some of us brothers and sisters um, have been sustained overseas, you know, they manifest. And so that same type of I got your six, you got mine, the same type of warriorism needs to be applied when everything is all said and done and quiet, right? Bedtime, get yourself situated, build your family values, do whichever you can. Thank you for your service, right? And so those same people are fucking everything up. All right. You can't depend on them because they had no skills in the beginning to deal with the shit that I had to deal with, that I'm still dealing with. All right. I've been shunned. I've been disrespected by doctors, literally disrespected people. I mean, right in my face. Why can't you move your legs and whatever? Well, sir, you know, I'm trying to be a respectful veteran, right? Why can't you do this? Why can't you? Well, you'll move him when you're damn ready to move him, right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable, right? And if you can see me at that moment dealing with some of these professional, well rounded professional people through the VA and all these DAV and all this shit, um, I got hot immediately. Okay. So basically, I went from 0 to 1,000,000 degrees, you know, and what I do is I just exit the building because I'm afraid of myself. Right? I'm afraid of myself. I'm a tough son of a bitch, and I'm afraid of myself. So I have to leave, and then I have to deal with that after. Right. So I got names. I got situations, and now I'm dealing with people sandbagging, right? So I have an issue, and here's Here's the most obvious, full of shit SOPs that are basically hurting me more than they are helping me. Okay, I have a TBI. I had my injury. I have some proof of it. I have some documentation of it. I've been losing motor function throughout my body, fine motor function. So I make this shit look easy right now. Okay, you look at me and say, "Man, you look damn good, bro." Yeah, I make everything look good. I'm hurting right now. All right. I got pain, I got situation, I got mental issues. I have lots of charisma. Okay. And thank you, Lord, for giving me something strong to deal with myself. The Lord has already paid this out for me. Okay. So there's a reason why I have charisma. Okay. And Lord said, you're gonna need charisma, son, because you're gonna be dealing with some shit in the future. And here it is. So I believe in that. All right. So here I am dealing with it, right? With 2023, and we got a lot of shit going on in the country, and and we got a lot of shit that's sort of morphing into all sorts of different type of shit that we have to deal with as a country, right? People don't want to work. We got all this gay shit, this man, woman, people disrespecting each other. We have, people with power coming about power that shouldn't have power, right? We got race issues, and there again, power issues where, African Americans specifically, basically got this power now to be judges and lawyers, and they want to stick it to you now. All right. And you can't don't fucking sit there and tell me that they have no revenge in their damn mind, historical mind, of saying, now that we have power, this is what we're going to do. So they're wielding this power like a damn kid with a gun, right? And that's the way I see it. So if you don't agree with it, then shit on me, right? And so I see it that way. I grew up in the projects. I grew up with African Americans and everybody else that didn't have a damn dime to their name, right? For decades, for generations. So, a lot of shit going on. And here I am dealing with the TBI that's basically okay. I'm having pancreatitis issue. I don't drink, I don't smoke, never did in that manner. Drugs. I have diabetes that came on, bam, just like that. I mean, it hit me like a son bitch, right? And diabetes too. Like, man, we're gonna kill you. I was peeing and pissing, couldn't hold my piss, and couldn't shit right, couldn't do all kinds of stuff, and I'm healthy as an ox, man, right? So my central nervous system is all jacked up because I have this TBI, right? I'm getting tested. I'm getting discredited by all these doctors because they're either in cahoots with the VA or they need my medical records when I go outside the VA. And once they find out that this narrative is attached to these files, then they go along to get along and fuck me, right? All that, we're just gonna go. I'm not gonna risk my fucking license on this sorry son of a bitch right here, right? And that's the way it is, people. And that's unforgiving. You can't tell me and sit there and try to coach me into saying that people are not that way. They are that way. I know. I'm a people. All right. A bunch of bullshit. So all these people have different intentions. Doctors have different intentions. The VA overall, their medical culture, they have intentions. They're trying to keep people afloat. They got so much damn things going on in the VA. They can give a shit if you die. And that's the way it is. But let's stay positive, though, right? Let's stay positive. So here I am dying with the TBI. I'm having all these secondary ailments that are just killing me, man. They're coming out. I now started to just get a cephnoid. Now, this is important. Cephnoid sinus infection. Okay, not your fucking regular sinus bullshit that you get up all in your face. Oh, you got the sinus thing. Where no, no, no. Shut the hell up and listen to what I'm saying. Cephnoid sinus infection. That's that little cavity that's in the back of your damn nugget. Underneath it, and all it does is produce moisture for your throat and your nose. You shouldn't have a damn thing in there. It operates the way it was. God made it that way, and that's the way it needs to operate. Okay, well, I have fluid in there, and I've been having that shit for years. Well, it runs out of my damn nose like water. And I've been trying to get people to test it for brain fluid, all the CNS fluid, nothing. As I'm getting worse, I finally start get it so bad that I have it now. It's all like stuck right in there, right? And don't have a fever. I don't have your typical signs of a sinus. And you know what? I can't believe. You know what? I fucking can't believe that when I go to explain some shit to somebody like a professional doctor, they immediately go to like I just came off the fucking street. Hey, you have a sinus infection. That's all up in here. I'm like, no, sir, I've done research. Yeah, but, and they cut me off. They don't want me to explain anything. And I'm trying to be smarter than them, right? That doesn't work. That doesn't work, right? So I'm trying to explain the sinus shit. And I'm like, you guys, would you just calm the fuck down and listen to what I'm saying? The cephnoid sinus, I know what it is. I have a diagnosis for having fluid in there. Now, that has been building up and caused an infection, which can cause meningitis if you don't take care of that son of a bitch. Okay, it's a serious issue. So I have it, and I've been dealing with it. So now I'm at this point where I have to, I have this like, how would I say? I can't even explain it. Like I have no faith in the people that I'm dealing with. Like I have no trust in these people because I was injected into a melting pot to help our country, survive the next chapter of our generations, right? And these people that I know damn well can't do a damn thing. They're going to go along to get along, especially these damn, liberals. They can't fucking think twice when doing something if it affects somebody else or affects something in the future. So all these people I'm dealing with, man, I've dealt with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. Well, I'm going into like thousands now, right? Not one people. You see that fucking finger? Not one has been followed any standard operating procedure to find some interest in what's going on with me. I haven't found one yet. Not a doctor to say, that's fucking interesting, dude. I have never seen that case before. I have not one, and that's very telling. Why is that very telling? You're damn right, because it's somebody's ass, and now that can that's being kicked down the road ain't going to be theirs. So I've been dealing with this shit for some time. Houston Cinema, Arizona. Okay. I'd like to meet the lady. Sorry, excuse me. I'd like to meet her. I filed for for help through her. All I dealt was with her staff. Okay. And I've done that since 2010. Ron Barber, John McCain, Jan Brewer, you name it. Anybody that was in, I attacked them, and I all received the same bullshit. Yeah, there's only so much we can do, There's only so much we can do. And while you're at it, why don't you just fucking die and get on with so we can deal with not paying you any money for for VA benefits and being a hood soldier, right? Another one bites the dust. You ain't nobody. You don't matter, right? And so I've been dealing with that since for 8 years, solid. Not one politician, not one doctor, not one supervising doctor, Not one son of a bitch who has the power to change the most simplest thing that I need, which is direct care for a TBI, direct care for my pancreatitis now. The benefits that come along with that. Do I get, some sort of special status for having a TBI? How do you treat TBI patients? Do you do certain things? I also, and then just the research and what's going on with me is phenomenal. I get, listen to this. If I have surgery on a area of my body, it's it's painful. It's how can I say? It's prominent enough to cause like serious pain and maybe the nerve. If it picks up on it, that's what the nerves do. They pick up on pain. So if it's bad enough surgery where my body has to adjust to it, the nerve picks up on that surgery, and guess what it does? It gets rid of that function that they're having surgery on. Yeah. So here in my pectoral, this doesn't work. I actually injured this shooting some firearms with the veteran organization. Okay, it was so bad, black and blue. You all know how that happens. But because of my central nervous system dysfunction with the TBIs I sustained, I'm learning, and I have been learned already since 2011, 12ish. I put those dots together because nobody else wants to do it. Lost this function, lost parts of other small minor functions of it. Then here's the pattern. Got surgery on my right hand because uh, I was the only tough son of a bitch in Iraq that was willing to change a tire in the middle of a war-torn country area, that jumped to it, ended up injuring my hand. And it started to go numb when I got back home. And after that, I started to lose function of it, like really started to lose function of it. And so I got surgery on it at the VA. Well, guess what happened? When I got out of surgery, I lost the function, the motor function, movement of my hand. So I have to jerk my body. What do they say? What's the saying? Um, uh, Once in motion, it stays in motion, right? When something's in motion, it keeps in motion. You just have to deal with that. And uh, I lost the function of that, and then it tends to like lose other functions because they're related, right? I had all sorts of other things. My tooth, I got my tooth pulled. It looks like I have some sort of paralysis there. It was so bad. This son of a bitch pulled my tooth and didn't listen to what I was saying. Yeah, I need some extra Novocaine and whatever they give you. He just pulled the damn thing out. Okay, I was so upset and lost the function of some of parts of my face. It's a pattern, people. So would you not find that interesting if you were a physician? If you were a medical something, right? If you were with some sort of VA, veteran disability, something or other, and you're like, man, that is interesting. Sorry, you're gonna die with that, but that's damn interesting. Can we research you? Right? Nothing. People, I got nothing. No one is interested in what's happening to me. I've gone down the road with politicians in and out and up and down, lean to the right, lean to the left, stand up, sit down, fight, fight. I've been done it. I just got fired from Kirsten Cinema's case. She had me as a case, right? I had, I've been at the end of my rope with these politicians that don't do shit. They have the power to do certain things, but they will not extend that power to you if it's not something they can gain on. All right. Kirsten Cinema dropped me. I put a couple of words in there on one email. We've been corresponding back and forth sometimes. This just happened recently, stating that, if she can't perform, I'm going to have to file, a ethics complaint against her. How do you do that, people? How do you do it? When our senators and congressmen and so, what happens when they fuck up? You know, what are our abilities to blame them for something that they were supposed to do and didn't do, and it's very critical. How do we do that? What are our options? Right. So I found out what one of the options was. There's several options, but one of them is to file an ethics complaint. It ain't gonna go nowhere and it ain't gonna do nothing because these sons of bitches go eat lunch with each other just like attorneys do from time to time. Right? They all want to make the money, they all want to get the experience, they all want to, oh yeah, they don't they definitely don't want to go mano y mano with each other unless it's absolutely necessary. Right? So here I am. I'm trying to make a stink of something now. And Kirsten Cinema fired me. So I got her on my list. All right. And she'll be sorry. Okay. I'm not going to let her go. All right. Being an independent now, that's just coughing out, what a loser. Um, also, now I have Juan Siscomani. Okay. I haven't yet followed through with some of the stuff, but here's here's the thing that baffles me. I pour my heart out and send some sort of communication with all this information to these people with power. And I say, look, here's my situation. How can you help me? You know what they come back with every single time? Well, that's great, Sergeant De Leon. Spill this out and send it back to us. And, we'll get back with you. And thanks for your service. Bye. And no follow through, no follow up, considering, I'm sitting here losing motor function. I could have a stroke anytime, can't get their shit together. There's all these phrases and how can I say, uh, war words and these go fight, 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 you know, uh, um, poetry, sentences and all kinds of shit to help, people go through a lot of shit that, is troublesome. But also, there's a lot of standard operating procedures that say that you can't leave a soldier behind, right? You can't, we have to take care of our injured veterans. We have to take care of our veterans, period. Just like Congress had a hearing on the FBI being weaponized, right? And I totally, started feeling, having some reflecting, some of these guys that were sitting there talking about, the FBI has ruined my life. They're not following through with, I need help, I need money, I need food, I need all this stuff. You're not helping me, and this is a direct threat to me now. So what do? Do I hurt you, the hand that feeds me, or do I find another way to piss you off and hurt you in a more standard operating procedure way to get you back because you shouldn't be treating me this way, right? He it definitely is retaliatory against these guys. And these guys, man, I wish I can reach out to them and just say, look, hey, I'm in the same boat. How can we get together and form, like the damn what is it, the Avengers and shit, right? I would love to do that, right? Get veterans with issues that they're having, and they're all the same. Whether it's a combat role, I'm having medical neglect issues, or whether it's the FBI guy that he's having the retaliatory stuff because he's a whistleblower, and they're cutting off his water and his gas, and they're not giving him money, and they even moved him around, and they're treating him like shit. And this is coming from our own sisters and brothers that we're supposed to depend on, right? Again, the people that you run into in the military that have no fucking skills, they have no merit to them as far as having being a much more well-rounded individual citizen, right? I mean, they have very poor skills. They're fucking lazy, and there's a lot of them out there. And I hate to put it that way, but they're the same brothers and sisters that know how to pull a trigger. And God bless them if we're in a situation like that. It ain't that hard, you know. As far as I go, I know I'm much more rounded person. I'd go over and above to take care of my brothers and sisters. Okay, if I have to pull an Avenger move, right? If I have to fucking do some damn Batman moves and shit, I'll be on it, right? Without thinking about it. So that's me. So I depend on people to be the same toward me. What'd your mama say? I think your mama says it. Your mama says, treat people the way you want to be treated. Well, that's not happening these days, is it? With our government, with simple shit, right? No one wants to hear nobody anymore. It's a damn shame. And it needs to be addressed. So, we're such good people, right? The ones that really want to make a difference, the ones that join the military, the ones that join a hospital, to help people, the ones that volunteer, the ones that do all this shit because they have an eager eagerness, right? They have this extra life in them that says, I got to do something, right? Because everybody else had before me. So here I am dealing with all these things, right? No Kirsten Cinema. These are the people that I surely would like to have their ass kicked around a little bit. Kirsten Cinema hasn't done shit for me. I reached out to Debbie Lesko. I argued with her 15-year-old staff from the Air Force, it sounded like, and she knew more than I did. All right, she didn't know shit. Nothing happened with that. I already poured again. People, I pour my heart. Hey, I'm dying here. What can you do to help me? Nothing. Juan Ciscomani, I give him a little bit of room. I haven't really dealt with him yet, but I'm assuming that he's not going to be much of help. I saw a picture with him and Kirsten Sinema at the border. Take your ass away from that border and get down here and help people like myself. The border's going to take care of itself. Okay, what are you going to do with the border? Nothing. I was on the border, working it. Were you? And then Andy Biggs, I reached out to him. He's on the TBI select committee. He hasn't reached out to me. Nothing. I know he's doing some pretty good work right now, but he's so isolated in doing what he wants to do, so he looks good. He don't have time for a little somebody like me, right? So I'd like to see his ass get kicked around too. Look, I give no forgiveness because I put my time in, and now look what's happened to me. I'm a tough son of a bitch. I put my line on the line, right? And my line's fading because nobody wants to address my issue, right? And so Andy Biggs, who's another one? Who's another son of a bitch? I reached out to a couple of them, Arizona, right? I even went outside and went to California. Yeah. And they wrote me back. I just want to see what they do. But as a veteran, we, and I know there's some room here that has been adjudicated for this reason, but we should be able to reach out to anybody that's willing to bend over backwards for us, for the politician, whatever, and say, yeah, let me get something started for you. Because it may ring a bell with somebody more than others, right? Why do I have to stick with somebody like fucking Kirsten Sinema, whose first fucking words are, I swing both ways? The fuck kind of shit is that? Right? I call the balls, and I bet you do, bitch. Oh, sorry, I don't mean that. Right? I'm sure you covered all your bases. So I have no room no more to give these people the benefit of the doubt because they have the power. Because we have rules and regulations that you guys aren't supposed to know about. We don't want you to know about how to file a complaint against me. We don't want to know, let you guys know, that there's these rules and laws that govern us, and if you knew about them, it would just make it more difficult for our job. We have to deal with all you people's attitudes, and well, hey, welcome to my fucking world. Why don't you jump into a melting pot like the United States Army? Damn, that's with it, people. That's with it. They put the pressure on to make us feel like we owe them. Like, oh, you're working so hard. Go out there, spend some of our money to make them look good with all these balloons and flags, and have all this entourage and all that shit, and then act like we owe them. Bullshit. I already one of my biggest, I wish this would get implemented. It needs to be. We need a grading system. Yeah, we need a grading system to grade our politicians on a day-to-day basis. I know it sounds like a lot of work, right? It's not. And when I mean day-to-day, some stuff take care of itself, right? Get a computer to start grading these people, and then have a committee, people all over the world, I mean, not the world, but the United States, to, meet at some point in time, like just like jury duty. Okay, get paid and be like, okay, we have this on our plate right now. Arizona, yeah, you got Andy Biggs, you got Kirsten Cinema. How is their report card? Well, Andy Biggs said he was going to go ahead and start helping these TBI people, but nothing has gone through. Do we have proof of that? Yes, we got to, and give him a fucking F. And with all that knowledge, with that grading, we would have the ability to put it on the table and say, look it, you're fired. Get out of here next. I don't give a shit what your intention is, how focused you are on one thing. You have to be well rounded, people. Andy Biggs secluding himself to a single thing like the border. And then it was, for the Speaker of the House, but he got pussied out and said, yeah, because us people don't know the details of how it works in Congress. We don't know. So because we don't know, we're going to get pushed around as a people. We get pushed around enough, don't we? We sure as hell do. I know we do. And I get no respect. Right? I get none. I get a bunch of bullshit's been happening since I've been complaining about it. I piss enough people off. My wife says, you make a lot of friends, don't you? That's shit. Yeah, I do. And I haven't yet. So, so I would like to have a report card to fill out a report card for Kirsten Cinema, for Andy Biggs, for Juan Ciscomani, for all those other dumb fucks that are in here telling us this is what we got to do and this is the way the operation runs in Congress. So if you guys have a complaint, too bad, so sad. No, no, no. We need more power, people. We need more power now. You don't brush my ass off anymore. I've been dealing with my claiming a TBI for 8 years. I'm dying with it. I'm getting worse every son of a bitch in couple of months. Right. And I have to abide by what they don't want to do, right? It's not what they do, it's what they don't do. All right. And so a report card would be nice. We get reported on, right? We get reported on our driving. We get reported on our taxes. We get reported on our behavior. When you take your kids to school, we get reported on all kinds of shit. And we get and they follow through with it to make you look bad like a bad citizen when you fuck up a little bit. Well, it's time we make our politicians say, do you really want that job? Because I want to put it to you. How many veterans did you help? We got a veteran right here, Sergeant De Leon, that's me, and he's complaining about TBI that he should be granted the VA's clause. It's a law. It's a clause that says, hey, if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, then it's a fucking duck. What do you think? They haven't applied that either because they've been kicking this narrative down the road and they don't want their compadres to get in trouble. It's as simple as that, people. And there's all kinds of shit building up on it now. My case has become a mess, and no one wants to deal with it. Right? So I say get a report card, fill it out, and say you didn't help that person out. And so we're going to fire you. And we're going to note it to the next person that wants to take on this role and actually give a shit. Right? It's just not work. It's about giving a shit for the people. Right? So that's what I say. Create a report card, have a jury duty system situation going on with it, finagle it, do whatever we need to do and make it happen. Yes, let's put some money toward it. We can get rid of the age limit thing. Fuck the age thing. We'll fire you tomorrow. Right? Yeah. So we got to do that, folks, because they don't, they, our government, which is directly Congress and the Senate, they're not going to inform you about critical standard operating procedures that go against them, that we have leverage to. Well, hey, Kirsten, why can't you extend your powers to me or somebody? Well, we just don't have that power. That's a bunch of bullshit. Then why are you there? Right? Why do you guys say if we have nowhere to go, we call you guys? What good is it? That's a bunch of shit. So I say we create a report card. Okay. These motherfuckers go out hand over fist with money, man. Right? They meet the right people in Washington and it extends all over the world. So somehow, some way, even if they're in for a few moments and they get report carded out, they're still going to make some money because they get in contact with the right people. So eat shit. That's what I say. Take care of the people like me, so the taxpayers don't have to keep fronting a fucking MRI. You know how many MRIs you guys pay for? At least fucking 25. We still don't see it. Oh, we don't see it. Oh, we don't see it. Stayed in the hospital. You know how much money it takes to stay in the hospital for one day? At least $20,000. You guys are paying for bullshit when you shouldn't be paying for bullshit. We have enough bullshit that we're paying for already that they don't know how to address. Again, the people that you depend on don't have the skills you thought they would have. So how do we cut that? How do we deal with it? And say, well, we thought it was a good person. How do we deal with it? You create a report card. Okay, the report card dictates how well you said you were going to do. And it's pressure. You got to do it every fucking day. Right? And if it's too much pressure, get the hell out of the kitchen then. Get somebody in there who knows how to run the damn thing. Right? Yeah, that's what I say. And we have to create it, people, that gives us the power to say, shove it up your ass. Right? We're not going to default on our country. We're not going to, abide by all these fucking liberals who don't want somebody who's trying to help them, like Trump, DeSantis. You know, instead they want to defund, they want reparations, they want gay people running all this shit out of just pure simple stupidity, and we're letting it happen because we don't have anything in place to tell them eat shit, right? I'm so glad that the guy on the subway choked that motherfucker out. Right? That's what we got to do. This is not extreme. This is what we should have been doing in the beginning, right? People helping each other. And yeah, he's got to go through some law stuff. And of course, New York's all broken up, right? They're just broke. You can't fix those sons of bitches. But yeah, you got to go through the dog and pony show, right? Oh, well, we're gonna have to handcuff. Okay, okay, that's fine. But we all know that he did a great thing, right? And unfortunately, it has to be tied now to a racist issue, which I already told you. These black people are wielding this power like their daddy's gun. They get this newfound power, like, oh, now we're judges and all these things, and we got power. Ooh, what can I do with that? Maybe I can kill some white folks, put some white folks away. Right? Come on, folks, get real. All right. So that's the end of my shit. You guys like my thing deal, huh? I don't even have feelings to play the blues. I just play it because my fingers just do it. I guess that's what we should be doing, folks. Talk to you later.